Hello everybody, welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, in deck number 457, we're going to finish up a deck I've been working on quite a while. Liliana, Heretical Healer. Now this was one of those core set origins flip walkers, as they call them. They are legendary creatures, and then when the condition is met, of course, they flip over to planeswalkers. But what I wanted to do with Liliana here is I wanted to make it a tribal Liliana deck, for lack of a better term. However, y'all remember back deck number 400 was Tribal Jace, and let's face it, the deck, while flavorful as all get out, is not exactly a good playable deck. So, I tried to balance a little bit here. Not all of these cards are specific. There are enough Liliana cards, arts, flavor text, whatever, to do an entire deck, but I don't know if it'd be a playable deck. So anyway, what I did here, like I said, Tribal Liliana. This is her human form. So the first thing I did was I went to the Liliana Planeswalkers. So this was I believe the PlayStation promo, if I'm not mistaken, because Xbox had the Garrick. But the very first Liliana vest that we got, not this art, but this was the first Planeswalker card that we got. And then through the years, now I don't have all the Lilianas in here, but I do have a bunch. Untouched by Death. I was lucky enough to get a Lily of the Veil foiled. There is that's full, I don't know if you can tell it, but it is shiny, in a draft. So, yeah, I was solidly in green-white, and I opened Pack 3, and I said, you know what? I think I'm splashing black. Liliana of the Dark Realms, of course, she's the what I call the Dark Ritual Lily. She's the one that goes and gets swamps and then makes swamps better. The new Dreadhorde General and Liliana's Death Majesty. Now, there also are Liliana's, what I call her possessive cards. You know what I'm talking about. Liliana's Reaver, Liliana's Spectre, Liliana's Elite, Shade, Mastery, Triumph, Spoils. I'm just doing that because I got tired of saying Liliana's all the time. The Influence, Indignation, and of course Liliana's Caress. Now, one thing that we cannot forget is Liliana's contract, because this is a huge, huge story point in her personal arc. And you know what? I kind of like the card. 5 mana, draw 4, lose 4. We would probably play that because we play Ancient Cravings and stuff like that. That's for 3 and 3. So, but then at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 4 or more demons with different names, you win the game. Now, so that's where we start to go askew, if you will. So I did put some, some demons. Don't really have anything to do with Liliana in here, but just to make this card an actual viable alternate win condition, Spawn of Mayhem, Mind Rack Demon, Reaver Demon, Carnifex Demon, Archfiend of Depravity, Pestilence Demon, Desecration Demon, and Halo Hunter. Yeah, we all dogged Halo Hunter when it came out, because let's face it, this came out the same set that we got Baneslayer, and it's almost always been close to worthless. Halo Hunter has, but you know what? There's a lot of other angels out there. And of course, because this is Liliana and it is her contract, we have her 4 demons. We have Demon Lord Bells Unlocked. Of course, that was one of the last that she killed. She signed contracts with 4 demons. As it turned out, it was brokered by Bolas, but who knew? To give her something from each one. I can't tell you what things she got from each one, but it doesn't matter for the purpose of this deck. Demon Lord Bells Unlocked was one of them. Cathopfid was the other one, and I'm almost positive I said that wrong. and then Razaka, the Foul-Blooded. Now, I know what you're thinking. There are 4, and I've just shown you 3. But we all know that Griselbrand is banned in Commander. So, but I had to have him represented in the deck some way. So, take a look at that nice swamp. So check this out. I put the entire deck in Griselbrand sleeves. So that way, while not in the deck, flavor-wise, still there. Still part of the deck. So now we get into cards that are, Demonic Pact. This was the precursor to her contract. Well, I say the precursor in our card game, not in her story, but it's like this was the first time that they tried to print it, and to be honest with you, it didn't go so well. It's not an exceptional card in mono black where you can't just give it off to somebody, but it was meaningful to the story, so I put it in. Rise of the Dark Realms. Just by nature of being mono black, we're going to kill things. So, Rise of the Dark Realms, while flavorful and mechanically sound. She's got her oath. Have to have baby brother there, Josuves, and Command the Dread Horde. And I dare say no Liliana deck would be complete without her Chainmail. I mean, this is the Onake made this, and I'm sure there's a book or a story somewhere. I am curious as to the process of the making of the Chainmail, because this item has just an immense amount of power, and the Onake are most of the time red artificiers. I don't know. It just intrigues me. So now we have cards that have Liliana in the art, and I think also the flavor text. So we have Final Parting. It's decent. It's a tutor. Settle the Score, Price of Betrayal, Endless Obedience, Cemetery Recruitment, and the Waltz. And now we have cards that just have the Liliana quotes in the flavor text. Reeve Soul, Rise from the Grave, Arisen Gorgon. I think that's one of those, oh shoot, help me out. The Planeswalker deck cards. Duress, which may or may not, yeah, Duress can probably come out. The more lilies that I get, because I think I'm 2 lilies shy. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I think I'm 2 lilies shy. Got the big one, Ulcerate and Disentomb. They're, again, another kind of... Now, that is it for the Lily cards per se. So, but we still have a deck to play, and we need some cards that actually make the deck run a little better than it does, or it would thus far. So, of course, we got Soul Ring in there. A Dark Ritual, which actually I'm surprised. Well, no, I'm not surprised. I don't think there's been a recent printing of Dark Ritual, depending on what you call recent. But a card named Dark Ritual seems like, if they printed it now, it would probably have a Liliana flavor text on it. Murder, Doomblade, just good spot removal. Tragic Slip, I recently picked up some foil original Tragic Slips, so I was like, you know what? We will use them. Corrupt. It's a decent removal spell, and Incidental Life Gain. We are playing mono black. Animate Dead. Another card. If it was printed today, it would probably have Liliana artwork on it. Living Death. Same thing. It's just Sign in Blood and Read the Bones are going to give us some card draw. Diabolic Tutor. I know I'm using the wrong art. I love the art of Liliana whispering into Chandra's ear. I love that. So much so that I've used all those copies. So I need to get another copy for this deck the next time I, I'm sure that since we're all about the planeswalkers now, that's the one that'll get printed. Especially since this depicts a human skeleton, and there are parts of the world where that's not exactly cool. Gray Merchant of Asphodel. Here again, mono red. We're probably going to have a lot of black pips out on the board since we have, planeswalkers and creatures and enchantments and stuff like that. So there's a good chance Gary's going to do a little bit of work for us. And then our last non-land card, anyway, is Mortivore. So Mortivore, pretty decent card if you are killing lots of things. Now, if you look on Architect, there are 39 lands in the deck, which is a bunch. It is a bunch. But the cycle lands, it's kind of almost hard to consider lands unless you are absolutely just a hurting, So, and then the spawning pool, and then Nixos. Well, that is Lily. It's been working on this one for quite some time. Yep, that's right. I'm using all the shiny zombie tokens that we got. Those are the double-sided ones. But there's the backside of the Lily. Yes, there is a very high concentration of foils in this deck because when I first started the deck, I was like, I'm only going to do foils. And wow, that got expensive quick. So I've actually been working on this one not quite as long as I had the Jace deck, but it's been a long time. I mean, it's probably been, 3 years. The entire life of the channel I've had, well, ever since Origins, actually. What is that, 2015? Yeah, so longer than the channel has been around. I've had this deck box, and I've just been throwing lilies in it as I get them. And, foil swamps and whatnot. So that is what we have got for today with Liliana. So we're going to complete it by throwing her right up there on top of Sisay. And I do appreciate y'all watching. Now, there is kind of an update thing that I want to talk about real quick. Next week? Yes, next week I will be on vacation. And right now I am crooked. Hate being crooked. I know y'all like this. But I'll be on vacation next week. My son is graduating from basic training. So we're going to travel across the country, feels like anyway, to go pick him up and see the graduation. It'd be fun. But that does coincide with the release of our Commander sets. So Commander content, C19 content may be a little late because, dad stuff kind of prioritizes, but I'm off for many days, and we're going to use that as a vacation and just, lollygag around. But anyway, get back. But I figure there's going to be just an absolute ton of actual C19 content out there. But as soon as I get mine, I've already pre-ordered from the LGS. Support your LGS. And so it'll be there when I get back. So it's whatever. But I just want to let y'all know that I might be a little late on. I know I'll be late on like the openings, but I'll be probably. What I'm going to try to do is get a bunch of decks done and recorded and uploaded, so y'all don't miss any content while I'm on vacation. Depending on how much I can get done is because in theory I need to get a whole bunch done and space them out every odd number of days because I can't even, and then have it covered until I get back, overlap a couple days so I'll have time to get anyway. We'll see how it flows. I do appreciate you watching. I'm just rambling now, so I'll let y'all go. Appreciate you watching. Y'all let me know what you think. But right now, I think we're going to shuffle and cut. And I'm going to roll right over here in this loud chair.